All right, welcome Warrior fans to Tri-Central High School, where the Trojans are hosting the Wes-Del Warriors. We appreciate all of you tuning in from Gaston or around the Muncie area. Some of you out in Ohio we know of, and some of you in the Carolinas watching. We know we have the Dowling family in Ohio, and we have the Ashley family out in the Carolinas, and many others throughout the United States at this point. I am the Superintendent Kyle Mealy here, giving you the broadcast. And with me tonight is a familiar voice of the Warriors. He is the voice of the Warriors during football season. He has been a long-time coach, track coach, football coach, just about anything. It is Coach Sims. Coach Sims, how are you doing tonight?
Oh, I'm doing great, Soup, and really happy to be here. Glad I could contribute tonight. Really looking forward to a very good basketball game here at Tri-Central.
Well, I appreciate you stepping in. Coach Hansen had a prior family obligation, but it's always nice. You did the, I believe it was the Wapahani game.
No, I did the Daleville varsity
with Coach
girls.
Hansen.
That's right. Coach Hansen and I did the
doubleheader
with the varsity girls and boys just a couple of weeks ago.
Well, as we look at this one, we see that Tri-Central comes into this one 2-5, and the Warriors come in at 5-5. Again, one story about Wes-Del is Wes-Del has played the most, I think, the last time I checked, the most, tied for the most games in the state, which is quite an accomplishment in itself during a pandemic. Obviously, Tri-Central's played 7 games, so not that far behind it. They look at 2-5. Coach, you got some stats over there in front of you. What strikes you right off the bat?
Well, Wes-Del comes in at 5-5, and like you said, I think at this particular point in the season, and because of all of the external factors that play in, I think at any game that you go into, you can pretty much throw the records out the window at this particular point, because even though Tri-Central comes in at 2-5, Wes-Del at 5-5, they're both 0-2 against common opponents this year, and I know that both teams are very, very well coached. John McLaughlin, in his 8th season, the winningest coach in Wes-Del basketball history, he comes in tonight with a tremendous amount of experience, and the Tri-Central Trojans are coached by Mr. Bill Bowen. He's in his 21st year of coaching high school basketball in the state of Indiana. He's in his 5th year here at Tri-Central, and I'm familiar with Coach Bowen. Coach Bowen coached at one of the neighboring schools. He was coaching when I was just out of high school in Hamilton County, and so I know that Coach Bowen will have them prepared. Coach McLaughlin will have them prepared. As far as the sagging ratings concerned, the computer rankings have them as very similar basketball teams. They're both have very similar sagging ratings. A difference is Tri-Central lost to a Sheridan team that's one of the better Sheridan teams they've had in a while in their last outing. And, of course, Wes-Del had a tremendous outing at Tri last weekend.
Yes.
And so opponents' records very similar. And surprisingly enough, these two schools have only played 6 times in the last 35 years. That's correct.
Hard to believe.
Yeah, I know. And considering the relationship that we've had, which has been a very good one with Tri-Central High School in all sports. Of course, the last time that these two teams met was their sectional game last year. And, of course, the Wes-Del Warriors walked away with a 7-point victory last March. That was, of course, right before everything came to a screeching halt because of the pandemic. And so it matches up. These two teams match up very good. I think it's going to be Tri-Central size against Wes-Del's quickness and tenacious defense tonight.
And one reason we're on here at 6, obviously, is the JV team's quarantined. I don't know how much that will affect Tri-Central as far as depth, because you just don't know that they play that many guys multiple quarters from the JV game. But I do notice that they don't have, what would be the full roster that we have over here. So they might have a few guys less tonight, and maybe we can play to that advantage. But I would imagine that you'll see some of the similar stuff that you've seen from us. The Fury defense, which is going to be that 1-2-2, and we extend that. We were extending it to halftime at Tri. We even went further with it, almost 3/4 court. I think it was effective. It's going to be all about their guard play if we're able to do that. Then on the offensive end, you've seen us play many times. You watch most of the broadcast. You know who our core 4 scorers are. But out of that, I think it has to be somebody else stepping up, too, to help us out tonight like it always is, right?
Well, and if you've been watching Wes-Del basketball over the course of the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've gotten tremendous effort and tremendous time from our role players, and they have been absolutely a factor. As a matter of fact, one of them earned his way into the lineup tonight.
I was just getting ready to put the overlay up there.
Ashley's going to be starting for us tonight. So that's the difference between the two teams. When you look at Tri-Central, a majority of their scoring comes from Jake Chapman. He's a 6'3", junior forward. He's averaging 24.7 points a game. When you compare that to the Wes-Del team, on any given night, depends on who's got the hot hand and what the opposing team defense gives us. We've got 4 players that are averaging in double figures. So I think what you're going to see is a more one-dimensional offense on one side of the court and a more diversified offense on the other side of the court.
Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. We've got some guys that definitely – 4 guys that are averaging double digits, as you already spoke of. But then Jesus Cardoza's had some great games lately. Mason Cox has had a couple of good games. And as you said, Carson Ashley coming into the starting lineup, we know he's a threat from outside. He's a shooter, so we've got to make sure that we get him in places where he can set his feet and knock him down. But I think that we're getting close, and as you can see there, we'll go through it for you again, folks at home. Number 4, Joel Dowling starting, and as Coach Sims just said, number 3, Carson Ashley, the senior, works his way into the starting lineup. And then you have number 22, Evan Weitzel, the junior, along with number 32, Zach Todd, the junior. And then you have senior Jesus Cardoza rounding out the starting lineup. We're almost ready for the national anthem, so we're going to kind of get quiet here, but we're going to keep our mics up so that we can catch this national anthem as we honor America.
At this time, if everyone would please rise for the national anthem, being performed by Tri-Central Junior, Alexis Stanley.
And that was an excellent rendition there, Coach, from one of Tri-Central's students there on the flute.
Yeah, her name was Alexis Stanley. Did an excellent job, and nicely done, Alexis.
And now we're going to get into the starting lineups. But, again, a couple of keys that I think you got to look for at home, as you've watched us many times, Warrior fans, is number 1, we're going to try to come out here and we're going to put out some defense on the guards, some pressure on the guards, some things to try to see how they react. Again, you said this is only the 6th time we've played this team in matchups, so there's not a lot of history here to go off of, whereas if you're playing a Daleville or a Cowan or a Wapahani and they're in your county, you know kind of what they do. This is still one of those that's a little unknown, so I have a feeling Coach will kind of ease his way into that. I wouldn't look for us to go all-out fury right off the bat. I think he's going to kind of see how their guards handle things first, maybe in a little man-to-man, and then I could see him switching it up. He likes to do that sometimes. Coach McLaughlin likes to wait and then kind of bring it out and kind of catch him by surprise. Now, you said Coach Bowen, I believe it is. He's an experienced guy. He's watched us. He knows what we do. So this could be an exciting one. But I think it starts with your defense. Wouldn't you say defense creating offense is a key for us?
And that's exactly what I've said last time I had a chance to cover this. We want to turn defense into offense. That's always been Coach McLaughlin's mantra. And, you spoke to the fact that when Wes-Del has had an opportunity, and this is a good thing, that we've had the opportunity to play more basketball games than other, even as far as being able to scout and learn your opponent, you don't have as many of those videos in the vault to be able to go back and to try to see. And, Tri-Central's at 7 games, they're still in the front end of their season. They're still trying to figure out things. So even if you've had an opportunity to see some game film and to look at the team, there's no guarantee they're going to come out and do exactly what they've done because they're still trying to find themselves too. So it'll be interesting.
That's a great point, and it will be interesting. It'll be interesting to see just how we get started here. We are wearing our charcoal tonight, and I like that. That's one of our alternate uniforms, so it's the darker gray, and it really makes that maroon and white pop off of there. I really like those uniforms. So you're seeing us in a little different color there at home, but I like it. Getting ready to go. We want to remind you that tonight's game is sponsored by American Pest Professionals. If you have trouble with some pests in your home, give American Pest Professionals a call. And we're underway, and there's a 3 right out of the gates, and it's just off, and a great rebound there by Zach Todd, and here come the Warriors. Weitzel has it now, trying to see exactly what they're in. It looks like a little 1-3-1.
Yeah, it was a 1-3-1. That one guy at the top, I couldn't tell whether he was going to man up on him and maybe play kind of a box and one or a triangle and one, but 1-3-1 zone it looks like.
Yeah, and here's a skip over to Dowling. And it looks like the Warriors just trying to feel this one out. There's Weitzel from outside, and it's good.
That's a great sign for us.
The microwave. You don't want him to heat up.
Well, you hope maybe he becomes more of a toaster tonight than a microwave.
That's absolutely true. You do. And good defense here. Here's a little bit of that fury that gets into the high post. They're going to get a foul. It's going to probably be on Zach Todd here.
Well, we put the pressure on early, and just to see, I think Coach McLaughlin wanted to see how they were going to handle it, how they were going to come out on that. And that's the one thing about that fury. We want to play it aggressively, but we also don't want to get ourselves into early foul trouble.
That's very much true. Trying to get that open here, almost a 5-second count, and they finally get it deep. That is Jake Chapman with the ball. And it's turned over. Here's an open one for Weitzel. Let's see if he can contribute here. Looked like just tipped out of there by number 22.
That's all right. We'll recover from that. That's early game jitters there.
I think that was Leininger, Caden Leininger, who got a hold of that one, just tipped it out of his hands. But then Weitzel came back and tipped it out of the hands of Tri-Central. There's a 3 on the way, and it's in and out, but a big rebound there. And it's up and good by number 40, Mason Pickens.
Yeah, that's what I said earlier in the pregame show. It's going to be our speed and our quickness, I think, versus their size. So we're going to have to find a way to get those offensive rebounds.
And they do stay in that 1-3-1 now as Dowling and Weitzel kind of hit it. Now it's into the corner there to Ashley. Back out, here's Dowling, shot fake, high post, back to Weitzel. Weitzel puts it on the floor, attacks. A little up and under, had nowhere to go with it, and turned it over.
Well, you can hear Coach McLaughlin all the way up here saying Fury right into it. So they're going to definitely want to pressure that ball.
And they're going to get a charge. That's a great positioning there by Jesus.
Yeah, that's a great job by Cardoza to put himself in a position to be able to take that away. Mason Pickens, he's a big boy inside. So
Mason Pickens, I remember his name because he was one that they gave it to a lot in football. So he's a football kid. So is Holden Rail. So a lot of names I remember from our football broadcast. Weitzel has it now. Trying to figure out this 1-3-1 right now. Running a little baseline offense. Ashley gets it in the corner. Dowling way off the line from deep, and it's downtown Dowling, and we're up 6-2.
That's a very good sign. We've had a couple of threes here. We hit those early. They found their shooting background, what they're comfortable with, and that's a good sign for Wes-Del.
Long rebound there. A nice dump down pass into number 34. And that's Holden Rail. Both teams not afraid to shoot the three, Coach Sims.
No. Tri-Central is just looking at their roster, and one of the things I didn't notice prior to, they're a lot of juniors and seniors. They don't post a single freshman or sophomore on their roster.
So a veteran squad we're playing against. Here's Weitzel for three, and it's off, and a rebound is into the hands of Jake Chapman. Chapman up to Leininger, back to Chapman. He's trying to get he's a big kid too. Out to Leininger for three. Just off, great block out by Zach Todd. And they're going to get Chapman with a foul there. He's trying to tie him up, Coach. Oh, did they call a jump ball? They called a jump ball. That's a tough one right there. Never really looked like they wrapped it up, but
yeah, I think Chapman even thought maybe he bought him one there, but Looks like the arrow was pointing the wrong direction at the scores bench.
Well, if anybody's going to get cleaned up down there, it's going to be Director of Student Learning, Jason Slopsma. He won't let that go. So we get it back here after a little confusion. I thought it was a foul. It was a jump ball, but it comes back to us, so it is what it is.
Well, we've got Eric Harlan coming into the lineup for the Warriors.
Looks like Mason Cox in
Mason
there.
Cox as well.
They got Eric for a travel.
So McLaughlin already gone to his bench here. About 4:42 left to go here in the first period of play.
Leininger has it. He'll probably bring it across, but we're extending that fury here. So both teams playing some extended zone. Causing some fits right here. Almost got it, and Eric Harlan almost got it again. They're going to get him for a travel. I tell you what, Harlan was causing him all kinds of trouble right there.
And that's what that fury does. It really exhausts those ball handlers, those guards, and after a while, I mean, I can't help but think that they become a little frustrated.
Downtown for three, and it's just off. He got shoved into the bench. I think he was trying to get a foul there. And look at him coming back in with a great hustle and a great steal for two. Joel Dowling.
That has been.
Then he gets a foul there.
Well, that's aggressiveness, and that has been the signature, I think, for the Warriors all year long. You can never fault their hustle.
No.
And when things don't go their way, they recover, they shake it off, they get back. That was a great effort.
That was. It's plays like that that really can turn a game. Here's Chapman, big dribble, hard dribble, and he's right in for two. You can tell Chapman's a basketball player. He likes to get in there, he likes to attack, and he's a big kid. I don't remember him from – ooh. I will say this, the official was wide open right there.
Well, that's and that would, if I had mentioned it earlier, that was going to be another one of my keys for the game is that Wes-Del has, when they do get the ball, they've got to take care of the basketball.
Yeah, value
value those possessions.
I've said that all year long. We've got to value them. Rebounding kills us too, and now we're going to get the second foul on Joel Dowling.
Well, that's what I spoke of real early. Our aggressiveness.
Oh no, they
is
called
great,
that on Eric Harlan. That's actually good for us.
But we've got to, get into foul.
Right.
We've got to watch getting into that early foul trouble. We're going to put them into the bonus early.
You made a great point there that this type of defense can get you into foul trouble if you're not playing it. You got to play it aggressive, but at the same time, you got to watch.
But we also have some excellent role players that we're ready to put in that play this defense very, very well if need be. So, it's there.
Chapman's second one, and he hits both. Tie game, 8-8. 3:34 to go in the first quarter. So it's all knotted on the Star Financial scoreboard right now. And the Warriors trying to figure some things out against this zone. Looks 2-3 now. There's downtown. Get in there. Oh, just off. And Mason Cox had good positioning, but Chapman had better positioning. There's a shot up and off, and that's going to be Zach Todd with the rebound.
Okay, that was really encouraging to see Zach Todd get that position and that rebound. That's exactly what we're going to have to do down there on that end of the floor.
They're going to get – oh, he hesitated, didn't think he was going to call it. That's going to be two on Eric Harlan. I'll say this, I don't know, and I'm allowed to. Not really, but I'm going to say I'm not so sure he was sold on that call. He hesitated a little bit, but it is the second one on Eric, and that's going to have Eric sitting for a good portion of the next half, I would assume here.
So Alex Light comes into the ball game for Harlan.
Light gives us great minutes.
He does.
And the nice thing about not having a JV game is Alex has all four quarters, where he typically plays 2 or 3 in the JV game and only has 3. So he gets all 4 here.
Well, not to mention, we haven't had a game in 6 days.
Yeah.
So we're on fresh legs too. So we'll see if that comes into play.
So the ball touched the fan, so when it does that, get that. There's Evan, and he got it. Nice job by Evan Weitzel. Got to take advantage of those, and we did there. But anyway, the ball earlier touched the fan, and they had to take it out of play, and now they're cleaning it. And I'm not sure if I understand that, but I think they should do it like football, Coach. We get to play, stop each possession.
Oh, and you only play with your basketball?
You only play with your basketball. There's 2 more.
I don't know.
For Tri-City. It might be a long game. Weitzel with a nice attack, and he's got it, and they're going to call him for a charge.
Well, that's part of our offense is when they see those takes, they want to go, and they're encouraged to do that. And like Coach Hansen has said on previous broadcasts, that's 50-50.
Yeah, you
and
can't
you're going to win
fault
some
them.
and you're going to lose some.
You can't fault them for that. And here's Chapman trying to get out of trouble there. Rail has it now. Rail trying to get it back inside to Chapman. Chapman looked like he took 2 steps, but they're going to give it to him.
Well, Chapman living up to his billing here early on in the ball game. I think he's got maybe 8 or 10
at
points
least,
already.
Yeah, I would agree with you on that one, at least. There's Weitzel, feet set, 3 on the way. It's just off. Rebound out to Alex Light. He says, I'll take it. Just misses, and Chapman with the rebound. Here comes Jesus Cardozo off the bench. Back into the game, it looks like, for somebody, and they threw it away. We need to value it right here, Coach. We've talked about this. You said it. Got to value the possession. We get a turnover. We need to come down here and score. Coach calling out a set play there. In social distancing, you can hear everything, Coach.
Yeah, well, I'm a little surprised. I'm not sure what their capacity is here for COVID because obviously
nice pass.
Their rules are a little different than ours, but there's not very many people in the gymnasium tonight. So
what they call? They call it travel?
Don't know. I took my eye off of the game very, very briefly.
Mr. Purdue, Principal Purdue, running the camera, he said yes. I don't think he agreed with it, but he said yes. Chapman's got it now, and he's got a swarm of Warriors, and it's knocked away by Alex Light. Alex Light trying to split, gets it back to Jesus.
Nice pass.
Nice pass, no call. And Light cleans it up and puts it in for
that's
2.
What we're talking about. Alex can give you some minutes there. Great defensive play, nice pass, nice offensive board and put back. Alex Light.
There's Rail trying to drive it inside. He loses it. Chapman saves it. Looks like he walked. Coach wants a walk. Now it's inside to number 40. That's missed. Come on, Mason. That's Joel Dowling with a big board. Here come the Warriors, Coach. And I don't know what we've got here. It looks like we're going to get a foul. And they're going to call it on White? They can't be calling that on White.
I think they're calling it on 34, holding Rail. Maybe not. No, they called it on Wes-Del. Alex Light. I thought they called that. I thought that went the other way.
The way the kid was looking at him, I thought it was on him. It's 6-1 right now. I mean, I'm never a guy to point that out, as Coach Hansen will tell you. You've heard the broadcast. I can get a little down on the officials. That's a nice pass fake there, and then to Chapman now. Got to take a charge right there. Nope. Mason Cox with a good rebound. Let's try to score here in the last 20 seconds. 12-12, folks. See if we can get the lead going into the second quarter. Coach wants to hold for that last one. Nothing there. It's got to go up soon. Got to get it up there. We didn't even get a shot off. You hate that, and Coach was upset.
But that's all right. I mean, Tri-Central, we said this before the game, 2-5 record. Don't let records dictate anything. They're playing very good defense, and they've got a very good inside game. So we said this would be a good basketball game, and it is.
It is a good basketball game, and that's the end of the first quarter. It's 12-12. We're going to take a quick break here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And we're back here. It's Coach Sims and the Soup here on the Wes-Del Sports Network, bringing you the second quarter. It's 12-12, and it's going to be Tri-Central's basketball. And here we go.
I think it's pretty much the same lineup we ended the quarter with.
Yeah, it looks like it is. There's Chapman looking for a shot. Little shot, or excuse me, dribble to the left, and then, was a
Alex Light with the offensive rebound there.
Big screen from Mason Cox, and now we got a foul. Oh, they're going to get a two-shot foul, and I saw Alex Light flying through there, and it's going to be.
I thought there was a foul away from the ball there.
I
for
agree
a second.
with you. Evan Weitzel's going to be the one who gets the two. So Weitzel had a pretty good first quarter, and that one's just off. A little bit more arch on that. There's a little bit more touch and air under that one. He'll get there.
Well, Weitzel, he's a 68% free throw shooter, so
he'll get this one then. Right on cue.
Yep.
That's why we bring you the analytics. You've already beat Hanson. Hanson doesn't bring anything. He just brings himself and a Mountain Dew.
Well, I don't want to crack on him, but I think I watched the last broadcast, and you had to do the pregame show by yourself because he was talking to people down below, being more social than.
And now you know why you're here. Maybe he didn't have a family thing. Maybe he's been fired. The Todd father, and can't get the roll. Big rebound there and he was out of bounds. But a big rebound by Light, and then to Cox, but he was stepped out of bounds. And Tri-Central has the lead here, 14-13, but nobody's really taking command of this game.
No. Well, we've talked about in the past, and I hate to use this term, but it's something that Coach Hanson talks about when he's here with you, is that sometimes you play ugly basketball, and sometimes that's by design.
Yep. And that one's out, and Light just got rid of it in time, and it went into Weitzel. Thankfully, no call there. They let that one go, and it's a 15-14 lead as the Microwave scores again.
Seems like we're picking that fury up a lot earlier than we have.
Chapman found a little bit of trouble there. Great job by Mason Cox, and great hustle by Jesus Cardoza.
When you're playing a team that relies on their interior scoring as much as Tri-Central, and you're playing that zone trap offense, I think one of the things that we lose is those guys that are down below, they got to have their head on a swivel because they're down there guarding maybe two of their bigs down in the lane at the same time, and that's kind of a stressful position to be.
Oh, yeah. Yep. As you can see, they are struggling outside, trying to handle some of that pressure. Skip pass to Chapman. He'll let that one go. And it's long, and a great rebound ripped out of Holden Rail's hands by Evan Weitzel. Oh. And Rail, I think he got caught up in fall season there for a minute. He just took Weitzel down. That's their third, so it's 6-3 on the fouls here with about 6:10 to go. Going with a little high-low.
High-low, I was just going to say that. Yep, cross-court skip pass.
Yeah,
we can't.
Jesus going to let that go. Little long. Mason working inside.
Nice job, Mason, getting that position.
Yeah, but he got shoved, and they called it.
Well, they called him out of bounds, but, I mean, what else could he do?
I mean, he got shoved, so I know the Warrior fans are trying to figure out how in the world that wasn't a call.
I'm not faulting Mason for that. He had nice position. He really worked under there.
Almost taken away, and they're going to call a travel. I tell you what, they're seeing a different game than I am a lot of times, I'll be honest. Timeout there, and that's going to be the first timeout of the ball game for Tri-Central. It's a 30 seconds, so we'll stay here with you on the Wes-Del Sports Network. So 15-14, 5:45 to go in the game. Want to say, again, we want to thank our sponsor for the game, American Pest Professionals. If you have a pest, and I do a lot of times in my neighborhood, is Mr. Denny. And what I do is I just call Bob Todd. He comes down, and he gets a hold of Denny and gets him out of there. The other thing I'd like to say is American Pest Professionals is the #1 pest control for Wes-Del Community Schools. They've worked with us for a long time. We do have a few of those varmints every once in a while. Hey, you might have had one in your classroom before, and we've had them taken care of, and we don't have as many of them anymore thanks to American Pest Professionals. It is the Star Financial scoreboard also, and we want to, if you're not doing your banking with Star Financial, you should be, and when you get there, tell them Trent sent you. So we're back here, 15-14, out of the timeout. Jesus going to bring it across. Again, Eric Harlan's in foul trouble this half. Jesus comes inside, tried. Probably need to go up with that one, Coach. And here we are. It looks like we're coming out a little bit more and that could be good for us. Loose ball, Alex Light. Great hustle by Leininger.
Good job.
I tell you what, that Leininger is a hustler. He got down there and almost knocked that away. So we capitalize on another turnover, and we're up 3 here. Leininger for 3. Just off, and they're going to get a foul on Chapman. They should be getting a foul on a rebound.
No, I think they're going to call that.
No. I thought they were going to call Mason Cox there for a minute.
I did too.
Thankfully they didn't. They called that on Chapman as he's fighting inside.
Chapman. How many's Chapman got? Do you have any ideas?
That's just his first
foul,
according to the board.
Okay.
Seems like he's been in on just about everything for them, but he's just picked up his first foul. And here comes a set play going into Mason Cox. A little bit of trouble with it. Mason was stepped out again.
3. He was triple teamed under there.
Well, and Mason will be the first to tell you he doesn't want to dribble more than a couple times, and
that's not absolutely.
That's not his game.
No, but he's got his work cut out for him down here on the defensive end too.
Yeah, and we are extending that a lot further than I thought we would. And Chapman with I think that's the Euro step. Back in our day, Coach, that was a travel.
That was absolutely a travel.
For some reason they let that go now. We think the official's playing for us tonight.
Well, nice hustle.
Great hustle by Evan Weitzel to come back and knock that away. And then Joel Dowling with a great steal. And here come the Warriors. Almost knocked away. Coach is screaming to take care of it. Alex Light now gets inside, and they're going to call a foul.
Yeah, it's going to be on Connor Hindman. So that's just his first. So now we're 5 team fouls to 6 here.
It's evened up a little bit. Garrett Graves comes into the ball game for Tri-Central, number 20. He replaces Rail. And here we go, trying to still in that 2-3 zone.
And
Dowling on the attack. Out to Zach Todd. Back to Dowling. Shot fake. Drive. Nice pass. And Mason Cox scores. So
with no dribble.
Yeah. Hey,
that used to frustrate me as a coach when those bigs would think that they have to take that dribble down there instead of just taking it to the basket. I mean, Mason did a nice job there.
Yes. A great pass by Joel Dowling. Now here's Zach Todd, and he tried to get one, and I think that was a good no call, but Chapman scores there. Zach tried to get the call. That's a tough assignment inside. That Chapman kid is a physical kid.
Well, we said it was going to be our diversity against their
Alex Light for 3, and it's off.
One-dimensional.
Zach Todd going up. Let's see if he can get a call.
Yeah.
Gonna call that on Chapman. That'll be his second, Coach.
Yeah, that's Chapman's second.
Be a 2-shot foul for the Todd father. So Coach Bowen has to think, do I leave him in as Todd hits the first one? Do I leave Chapman in with 3 minutes to go, or do I? You only got 2 subs on the bench, so it's not a lot of depth right now.
That's good to see Zach hit both those. He's a 69% free throw shooter, and Zach's had kind of a rough season. He had played with an injury a couple weeks ago, and it was, that's what I was speaking to, having those few days off. It's allowed us to get healthy, to get our feet back underneath us.
And there's a shot up and missed, and now here comes the Warriors. Dowling, nice pass inside to Light. Light can't get it, but Zach Todd trying to keep it going, and he's going to get called for a foul. That's going to be bonus, and
foul on number 32, Zach Todd. Going to the left of the Trojans.
You really hate to see so many loose ball fouls, because when there's a loose ball like that, it doesn't always constitute a foul, but that puts Zach on the bench with 2, and that now has Jesus, Alex Light, Mason Cox. Weitzel and Dowling in the game. And at the line is number 44, Connor Heinman. And he misses that, and Alex Light with the rebound. Into the hands of Dowling.
Tries the floater.
Yeah. And every time we go for a floater, they're going for a charge.
Every time we have driven the lane, there are bodies on the floor.
Yep. At this point, you just got to say, hey, they're flopping. They're going to get Evan Weitzel now on his. I think this will probably be his second.
Well, as an official, from an official standpoint, when that happens and there's a no call, nobody's going to be happy.
Yeah. And it is the second one, and that's bonus. Carson Ashley comes back in replacing Evan Weitzel, but you're exactly right. No one's going to be happy when they see a kid go down. They expect a call, and doesn't mean it always has to be. And that one's off. 21-18, Wes-Del holding on to this 3-point lead. Working against the zone. Sometimes those skip passes, Coach, they worry me.
They make me nervous, too.
Jesus trying to get inside here. Now he puts his head down.
That's
out
probably
to
a
Ashley.
good decision right there.
And Carson I tell you, he's just right there. And now they're going to get Alex Light. You hate a foul 90 feet from the basket, especially when it's going to be 1-1.
I think sometimes we get so, but that's the nature of our program. We coach that we want them to be aggressive. We want hustle. Sometimes your adrenaline gets the best of you, and you got to remember they're teenagers, and
it happens.
They make those decisions sometimes. So you can't fault them.
No, you can't fault them. You can't. It's hard to back kids off too. I mean, we're talking about 15 to 18-year-olds, and you tell them to play one way, as you said, and then try to tell them to play another way.
Exactly. That's tough for me to do.
Yeah. Well, it was tough for me to get on the court. My coach, there was only certain times I was getting in.
Yeah.
Chapman hits the first one.
I was usually videoing the game.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I was. They sent me to the top row.
They sent you to the top row. At least we're not at the top row tonight. We're right. We've got a nice little setup tonight.
Actually, I'm very appreciative of the hospitality here at Tri-Central.
He just thought he had a shot there. Coach Bowen wanted a double dribble. This zone has been somewhat effective. What are they? Now they get him for a double dribble.
Well,
very rarely do you see a kid double dribble in the same possession. So,
well,
twice. But hey, coach wanted.
I was just getting ready to make the comment that what the coaches want are not always what the coaches get. But in that particular instance, that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, he did. That looked like a travel to me almost. And here's Rail, a little too deep, and now Carson Ashley trying to tie him up. That's out to Leininger. Leininger for three, and he gets it. That's the first three, and that gives them a 2-point lead. So Wes-Del now, as you said, we've got foul trouble, and we're also trying to work against the zone. We've got Carlos Artiega in now for Alex Light. And with a Harlan out, Dowling has to play more of a guard, and they're going to get Jesus for travel.
That was.
Yeah, he did.
But we talk almost every game. I've heard you and Coach Hansen talk, and I have talked as well about Wes-Del's defense. But we got to give Tri-Central some credit here. They're playing really good defense as well. They've done a very good job with that 2-3 zone.
Yeah, and we just can't seem to figure out how to get in. I think in the second half we might have a better handle on it. There's a nice tip away. Get there, Carson. And he just can't get it, but he went flying after. He can't fault the hustle, and now Leininger, he almost throws it away with 55 seconds left. I tell you what, it's been what we like to call make it ugly game.
Yeah, well,
it's the way both teams like to play.
Well, they've got a lot of their not to say that this translates or transfers from season to season, but they've got some of their football players out there, and we've got a good portion of our football players out there right now.
I think two with their football player and our football player just got into a little scuffle there, not a bad one, and now he's got double bonus as Mason picks up. That's actually only Mason's first.
Which surprises me because he's done a good job of fighting underneath. He's been very physical in there.
Well, he's a fan favorite, Mason is, and they are probably just as surprised that he's made it to the almost halftime with only one foul. And that gives them a 24-21 lead with the free throw there from Heinman.
It's been a quick ball game.
It has. See what we're going to get here. Nice pass fake from Jesus. And a skip. And that's scary skip there, Carlos.
One of those skip passes that make you nervous. Again, we have to take care of the ball.
Yeah, you can't do a spin move. And what are they going to get here?
Should be a jump ball.
Yeah.
So Wes-Del will retain possession here.
And, you can't do a spin move. Here comes Cameron Buckner. First time we get to see him. He's a long kid, probably the longest kid on the team, and he's got a nice left-handed shot. So he comes into the game. I assume right now for a set for a possible three with him being an outside shooter. Dowling thought about it. Now it's over to Carson. Carson, nice shot fake back to Dowling. Downtown Dowling for three, and it's off. Rebound now, and it goes to Tri-Central. See if we can hold him here before they get a shot. They get it down to Hyndman. Hyndman misses. We got lucky there.
Yeah, that was a nice move on his part. He just couldn't get it to go. A little unlucky. But.
And at halftime, it is 24-21. We'll be back with you shortly. You're watching Wes-Del Varsity Basketball on the Wes-Del Sports Network. All right, we're back here from Tri-Central High School for the halftime show, the Star Financial Bank halftime show. Tonight, it's going to be a pretty simple halftime show. We've got some stats to give you. We don't have a guest with us because by far, as Coach Sims mentioned, this is probably the least amount of fans I've seen in an event in a long time. But I will say this. The accommodations have been great, and I just had somebody in the chat ask, Mr. Romine's wife asked how the table is, because we always talk about the table. This is probably the best table we've had so far, and very comfortable. They are a Coke school, which works well in our benefit. We like the Coke product, but we're not. But maybe we'll get there. Maybe we'll get there. I don't know. A lot of people like Mountain Dew. How could we get Mountain Dew taken away from Coach Hansen? He wouldn't be able to work.
No, and that's not going to work.
So Coach Sims has some stats in front of him, I think, from both teams. He's got some points. So, Coach, let's you started off with either team you want to start with.
Well, we'll start with Tri-Central, and just like we had talked about in the pregame show, Tri-Central definitely led by number 32, Jake Chapman. Jake Chapman right now with 14 points and 2 fouls. The second, and then the rest of the scoring. We've got Garrett Graves with 2 points, Pickens with 2 points, Rayo with 2 points, and then, of course, Leininger hit that 3-point shot, the only 3-point shot made for Tri-Central there in the second quarter. So just like we talked about in the pregame show, pretty one-dimensional for Tri-Central. Really nobody in foul trouble other than Chapman with those 2. Looking at the Wes-Del Warriors, again, just like we talked about, the Soup and I talked about before the game, we like to spread it around. We like to share the wealth. a little more diversified offense. Right now, Joel Dowling with 5 points. Evan Weitzel, he's got 8 points. And Alex Light with 4 points. And then Mason Cox, of course, with that 2-point bucket he hit there in the second quarter. And right now, as far as foul situation for Wes-Del, Evan Weitzel sits with 2, Zach Todd with 2, and Eric Harlan with 2. So just like we talked about at the pregame show, a little more balanced attack, a little more spreading it around for Wes-Del, and, of course, Tri-Central relying on their leading scorer, Jake Chapman.
And I tell you what, I think the second half is going to be good for us, Warrior fans, as we get some of these guys that have been sitting. Eric Harlan's been sitting an entire quarter and a half because of the 2 fouls that he got early in the first. So we get him back out there, and he is the point guard, so that takes Dowling off the ball a little more. And I know Coach is in there making adjustments right now on this 2-3 zone. I would be surprised if we don't see some 1-3-1 back out of the Trojans, because I didn't think that was really a problem for them. I think it kind of gave us a little bit of an issue, and we were working through it. I don't know why they switched out of that, but you might see some 1-3-1 out of them. We did not see any full court pressure out of them, although that could be something we see. But the thing of it is, they only have 2 subs, so you can't get 2 up and down, especially when you rely on one scorer so much, Coach.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I said the difference between that 1-3-1 and that 2-3 zone is they're playing with seven players tonight. They don't want to get people in foul trouble. They also are a sizable team. They're not as athletic as we are. They can put those bigger kids down low,
right,
and they don't have to move as much.
Yep.
Guarding that baseline.
Yep.
So you can protect those guys a little bit down there in that 2-3 zone. I'm thinking that's why they came out. You play that 1-3, now you've got that chaser up top. You're going to – and not only that, with only 7 players, the 2-3 zone's a little easier to manage in terms of, playing those 1-3-1 zones, or playing man, or playing a trap.
It's going to extend you.
It extends you, and it wears you out.
Yeah, it does.
And you don't have anybody to bring in to give that kid a blow on the bench. And so
I think that's a great point about their size and being a lot of football guys on this team. Putting those 3 guys down at the bottom, it also helps you. In a zone, it's always difficult to rebound, but if you've got those guys down there, and instead of just the one guy in the 1-3-1 and the guys coming across, I think you make great points. That's probably why I think Coach Bowen was probably trying to give a different look to start and then shifted into the 2-3. They look like they're comfortable playing the 2-3. You talked about how you got to give credit to their defense, and I think they are a typical 2-3 team. I've never seen them play this year before this, but from what I see from them and how well they played the zone, I think they're comfortable playing that. So you could very well be right. It may be something not only to preserve their numbers, and with Chapman in 2 fouls, he doesn't want Chapman to pick up any more, because that is, as you mentioned, their primary offense right now. So it's probably one where you can still play the type of game you want to play. They're used to playing it, but at the same time, it keeps some of their guys out of foul trouble. And this is still going to be a physical game, I think, here in the second half. I think the officials, unless they clean it up, they let us play a little bit. I know they called a lot of fouls in the first half, but they let us play primarily both ways for a little bit on the bumps here and there. And if they let us play that in the second half, that'll be a fun game to watch. Quick game, Coach. I mean, it's not even 7 o'clock yet, and we're already almost under 3 minutes before the game gets started here. So,
yeah, there was at least 20 fouls called in that first that first half too, and it still seems like the game's moving pretty quick. And to go back, I don't want to rehash beat a dead horse here, but to go back to that 2-3 zone, let's not overlook the fact that Wes-Del's also had their opportunities against that 2-3 zone.
Yes.
We've had some looks. We just didn't get them to go. Now, with somebody like you said, if we can bring a Harlan in off the bench, take Dowling off the ball, get him somewhere where the baseline or outside, and then get another shooter out there, maybe that might force Tri-Central to have to come out of that 2-3.
And I will say this, with the foul trouble that we did have, boy, did we get a lot of good help off the bench. You mentioned Alex Light with 4 points. Mason had that, or was it Mason with 4? I think it was Alex with 4, and I think it was Mason with 2. And I think that those may not seem like a lot, folks, but those were big points to keep us going in the game. We didn't really lose that much when those guys went out with foul trouble, and that is something we've talked about all year long, and something that Coach is really proud about. He always talks about in the post games that it's always nice to be able to know you've got a guy right there, you can just put him in and you don't miss a beat.
Well, Mr. Slopsman's already taken the book back down to the
Oh,
scorer's
yeah.
bench, rightfully so. But I was, while you were speaking to that, I was going to be interested just to see how many different players we have, the Warriors have played. We've already had sizable minutes from more players than Tri-Central has on their entire roster.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And so that is one thing that I spoke to in the pregame, and one thing that I spoke to when I've had the chance to cover the Warriors this year is that we've always got quality minutes out of our role players. And that's a great thing. And not only that, we've got some kids that are having the opportunity to dress and be a part of a varsity game tonight because there was no JV game. And surprisingly enough, any experience that you can give these younger players only helps your program on down the road. And again, we've played 10 games, which is a lot compared to what other people have played, but we're still on the front end of our season here.
Yep.
It's not February yet, and so we're still learning about ourselves and learning when to get those kids in and when they're going to be able to contribute and at what level and in what role. And I think you'll see in the second half maybe even some offensive, defensive type substitutions for the Warriors, those kinds of things. So I think the Warriors are in good shape here. I'm sure McLaughlin had some things to say about that zone in the halftime. So this should be a very interesting half of basketball.
Yeah, buckle up, Warrior fans. And we'd like to mention, if you'd like to become a Wes-Del Sports Network sponsor, just email myself at kmealy@wes-del.org. Send me an email, and we'll get you one of the forms to sign up. We appreciate bringing these games to you for free. We do not do what a lot of other schools have to do at this time and charge about $9.95 per game. We're not doing that. We're bringing it to you free, so any sponsorship helps us out. Here we go, third quarter. Tri-Central inbounding.
Notice we didn't have the Coach McLaughlin jacket watch tonight. He didn't wear it.
No, they went a little more laid back
casual tonight.
Yeah, a little casual. There's Chapman with a spin move. Looked like a travel almost, and he gets that one to roll in. So it's 26-21 now, and here we go. On the floor for the Warriors is Harlan, Dowling, Todd, Weitzel, and Jesus Cardoza.
And this looks like the starting lineup that we would normally have that we've had, during the season.
Yep, and Jesus gets inside. Nice move.
That's really good to see from Jesus.
Jesus Cardoza there. And now a nice steal by Joel Dowling, and it's back outside. Downtown for three.
Hit that.
Got it. And it's tied up at 26.
Right, just like that. Basketball is such a game of momentum. If the Wes-Del could put together 2 or 3 possessions like that or counter possessions like that, it would be really nice for us to start the half.
Here we are trapping again. This is into Chapman. Chapman will get inside the lane, and he's up and good.
Well, he's everything that he's been built out to be.
Yes. He is a solid basketball player.
He's got 16 of their 28 points.
Weitzel with a nice drive, but he just threw it into the crack. He's good for one of those a game, not knocking him, and they throw it away. But Evans good for getting inside or getting on a fast break and getting a little contact and just can't get it up over the rim and throws it right underneath. But I'll take the aggressiveness, as you have said. Harlan getting everybody where they need to be here. And
see, that's just what we said, that when Harlan comes back in, we're going to have our shooters more out the perimeter.
Nice skip.
Well, that was the right idea.
Yeah, it was
just
a good,
unlucky.
Hit the rim, but a skip pass was going to Dowling. He was open. That one almost knocked away by Weitzel. Now a jump shot at the free throw line, and it's Zach Todd.
Great positioning in there, Zach Todd.
Gets a rebound here as they are down 2. Here's Harlan driving, and a nice pass inside, and they're going to get a foul. And that's going to be on 44, Connor Heineman. And that's the first foul for.
No, that's his second. That's Heineman's second.
Heineman's second? Well, it's the first team foul, I meant.
Heineman. Okay, I'm sorry. Yeah,
that's
it's
right.
Heineman's second. That, again,
foul trouble.
They don't have
in our favor.
They don't have a lot of fouls to give. Their bench not really too deep, and and not only that, but when we think about that too, where does conditioning, where does having that rest and being able to bring some players in, especially, right before the quarter break, get that extended break and come out and play, have your legs underneath you for the fourth quarter.
Well, and look at this. We're going to bring a little pressure, which is going to cause them to have to – not a bad move here by Coach to make them work, 90 feet to 90 feet here. And Leininger because you're going to try to wear him out. Dowling gets the rebound there on that shot. So I think it's very much as you said. They're going to try to wear him out a little bit. Nice little dump down. They're going to get Joel Dowling. I tell you what, every time we've talked about it, we've got to learn a little bit. We've got to adjust to that. Every time they're going to try to take a charge when we're off our feet.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean that they're going to get that call.
Right. I agree with you.
It's a 50-50. I mean, it doesn't seem like it's worked out that way here, but that call could have very well gone the other way,
I agree with you. Still like the aggressiveness. Now here's Chapman. I'm going to bet if he can get to the inside, he's going to put it up there. Here's Hindman from way outside. Harlan with a good rebound. Harlan trying to make something happen here. He gets it to Weitzel. Weitzel with room for three, and it's off. Rebound to, that was number 40, Mason Pickens. This has almost got a summer ball game vibe to it.
Well,
because there's not much of a crowd.
I think that's exactly what Coach McLaughlin's trying to do. I think he's trying to wear them out.
Yeah.
We can't let that happen, though.
Nope. Holden Rail there gets it, and it's 30-27 now, and here comes Joel Dowling with it. Gets a screen from Cardoza. Back to Weitzel. Weitzel on the drive, and they're going to get Weitzel
charge
for a charge.
Well, I told you that before that Coach Bowen's been around the game of basketball. He's obviously watched us play because that's one of our things that we do. We like to get those takes, and when we see those guys, we drive.
Yeah.
But
I tell you what,
those aren't going our way today.
They've given them all kinds of charges tonight, and that one almost lost by Leininger. He gets it inside now. That's Rail in the middle. He dumps it off, and it's scored. We've got an answer the call right now. I mean, they're starting to go after us.
Well, they've got those big guys. They're just collapsing that lane. They're forcing our outside shot, and we haven't got them to go. And
now we're getting a lot of fouls called. It's now going to be 3-1. Getting Zach Todd there. That's going to be his third.
Well,
at this point, you kind of just say play smart. Yeah, use your head here. Try not to get another one. And Jesus almost got that turned away, and then nice job by Eric Harlan, and they're going to get that one going the other way as Chapman had a chance there.
Yeah, see, you can tell Tri-Central's getting a little worn out here.
Oh, yeah. The shots get shorter.
Yeah, and they're not hustling back on defense in the transition. So, but
we've got to get better shots than we're getting.
But neither are we at that point.
I didn't like the shot we just had. We've got to get a better shot than that, and that's okay.
All right, there we got the block.
There we got a block, and actually I probably thought that was a charge.
I just assumed it was going to be.
But we'll take it.
Yep.
I don't know what he's saying. Looks like Coach and one of the officials are having an extended conversation down here, and you can see it in your screen.
So Light and Cox are going to come back into the lineup for Wes-Del. Yeah, I'm not sure what that conversation was about.
If I know Coach, he's probably saying, now how can that be a block and the last ones haven't been? So he was probably not letting the other ones go because he's fighting for his guys. And I've been with him when he does that. And the official just said that's enough. And then Coach usually has a good conversation. It ended well.
Well,
so
yeah, I mean,
he's got
just because referees and coaches talk, officials and coaches talk, doesn't mean that there's animosity.
No, that's a tough one there. As Chapman now having a great half, and he's had a great game actually. He's just pushing this thing up to a 8-point lead now. Alex Light getting some extended time right now.
We can't touch that.
We throw that one away, and a little bit of trouble here in Wes-Del's situation. And the program's trying to work itself out of this, a little 8-point deficit.
One of the things that I've watched Coach McLaughlin coach basketball for a long time, he likes to save those timeouts.
He will, and he believes the boys can work it out.
Right.
He'll know here in a minute if they can't. One more score, and I have a feeling he would take the timeout if this is it. And if that's on Zach, that's going to be 4. Hopefully they call this on Eric Harlan, which would be 3.
It's
and
on
it is.
Harlan.
Still not great, but
no. Well, and Harlan's got 3 fouls with limited minutes, and
yeah.
and this is
and Chapman's got 2 here. Good free throw shooter at the line. And on cue, you tell them they're a good free throw shooter and they miss.
Well, go ahead and say it again then.
Chapman is a really good free throw shooter. So it didn't work for us the second time. All right, they've made their run. Now it's time for us to make a run. Again, the zone is just causing us a little bit of fits. We've got to shoot with confidence, get our feet set.
They really collapsed down there in the middle.
See right there, and that's going to be Zach's 4th foul. And I think he thought it was clean, and that's going to be sending him to the bench with 4. Bring Carson Ashley in. So Chapman being a really good free throw shooter, we'll see if he can hit both of these. And didn't work for me that time either. So here comes Carson Ashley replacing Zach Todd. It will be Light, Ashley, Dowling, Cox, and Harlan in the game. And now it's a 10-point. It's a double-digit lead. Chance to be 11. And he got it. This isn't a good run right here. We need a – and I think we got a timeout. It's going to be a full timeout. So as it's a full timeout, we'll take an audio break here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And coming out of the timeout, that is the first timeout. Both teams still have 4 remaining, and that was quite a run there in the middle of the third quarter for Tri-Central. And, we talked about it, Coach, a little bit, and really what we're seeing a little bit of is we're trying to find a guy that's going to give us the offense that we need. We're trying to find a guy who's, and I'll just say it, I've been down there with this group and coached with this group. We got to find a guy who's ready to lead us right here and get us back into this game. We've got to try to get in there and get those. We've been getting about 10-footers. We've got to take them. I mean, we got to be more aggressive, and just a guy's got to step up right here like Joel just did.
Right there.
Yep.
I mean, it's in and out, but that's the right idea against that zone because all those guys are going to collapse down in there in the lane. We've got to find that 10, 15-footer. It doesn't have to be a 3.
Oh, we just didn't get the bounce on that one.
Yeah, but when we do that, we leave, somebody tries to jump that ball.
Yep.
Now you're 4v3 down here, and that creates that opportunity.
They're going to get Dowling with that one, and that will be Joel's third. So we have several guys with 3. We've got Harlan with 3, Dowling with 3, and then we've got Todd with 4. And we've got Pickens at the line here with 2. So we're going to find out some of these football guys are free throw shooters. And if you're watching for Tri-Central, I'll just warn you, I'll be a little biased here. I'm going to hope they miss.
Pickens is only a 47% free throw shooter, so.
Well, I know this much. He's a hard matchup in football. These guys are scrappy. Give it to him.
Well, and you got to give it to them. They're in shape.
The basket good. Basket's good.
I don't think
I'm going to get him to get it.
You don't think you're going to get that call?
I tried, but I didn't get it. Harlan with a really smart move. Bounced it off the back of the guy and scores it. So he's tried that a couple times this year. He tried it at Southern Wells and didn't make it. That time it works. And now here we come. This is what we got to do. Yep, we've got to turn this thing over. Dowling trying to go inside, and they're going to get a foul.
Yeah, that's the right call there.
Yep, and we need that one because that's on Chapman. That'll be his third.
Well, this, like I said, we're not to the fourth quarter yet. These
it's gonna be interesting.
Basketball's a game of momentum. We're only down 9 here. We put a couple in. We're down 7. We've still got 2 minutes to the quarter break.
Dowling's first one's up and good.
You run that risk of getting that charge, but you've got to take the ball.
I'm with you.
You've got to take the ball to number 32 right now.
I'm with you. Dowling gets the second one, and he does cut it to a 7-point ball game. And I think we just got to keep the pressure on. As you said, not a lot of these guys like to handle the ball. And what do we got? A timeout, and I think it's going to be
full 30
Oh,
second
no, he
timeout.
changed it to a 30-second.
Yeah, the coach changed his mind.
So Tri-Central takes that. There'll be 3 left for them. So I think that's a great point, Coach. You at this point, you're down 7. You've got to take the chance.
Right.
I know you've gotten some charges called on you, but you got to take a chance and go in there.
If you're 1v1 with Chapman, you've got the look, take advantage. And who knows? It's like I said, it's 50-50, but this game it's been 80-20. But get him into some foul trouble, and like I said, this is no fault of Tri-Central. Tri-Central has played a very good basketball game.
Yep.
They're very well coached. They were prepared. Obviously, their kids are in shape, but I'm a little concerned, or not concerned, I guess, a little interested in their depth here, and I would like to maybe force that hand if we could.
I think that's a great call. And just checking in the chat, I want to say hello to some of our all-time, long-time subscribers. The Dowling, Ohio family's watching. Pam Meyer-Fisher is watching, as she always is. And Lois Nauman's watching, AJ's grandma. And I also saw good old Mary Helen Bink. Nice steal there by Hollywood Harlan. Up and just missed it.
Couldn't finish. But
you got to keep that pressure on.
Keep it going right there. Got to jump that ball. That's a charge.
Yeah, and nice hustle from behind by Harlan.
My bias came out there, but
he cleared him out with that big arm, and I agree with you. I don't think he intentionally meant to do it.
It was a no call. It was probably a pretty good no call. I hate to be that critical, but I thought, well, these guys definitely like to call that charge.
Hey, I'll tell you what, Warrior fans will not be upset with you if you show your bias a little bit. They kind of like that. That one's loose. We are getting a bunch of these. Oh, that hurts. Hindman hits a 3 there, and those are the ones we can't have.
Was that a 3?
Oh, no, it was, excuse me, I'm glad you said that. It was not.
I think it was about a 10 or 15-footer there.
Okay, well, I'll take it. Nice pass inside, knocked away. Good idea, about 58 seconds left here. So 42-33.
We've got to take advantage of this at that timeout. Coach Bowen set Chapman.
Dowling coming inside. He's trying to get something going. Carson Ashley down to Harlan and the King. Nothing there. Take your time, guys.
This is encouraging here. Screen was on the wrong side there.
Yep. Here's Eric trying to find it. That one gets knocked away, and Leininger is off to the races here. And he lays it in. And they've got their largest lead of the ball game at 11 points now. Eric's got to just turn and go. When he makes that spin move, he's got to be more aggressive. There's Joel Dowling from outside. That's a big one. Downtown Dowling hits a 3, cuts it back to 8. And there's about 10 seconds left actually on the game clock. Our clock is just a little off.
There's a steal. There's
a big steal. Get it up. Get it up. Up to Alex Light. He stops and
Come
pops.
on, hit that.
And just missed it. In and out. And that's how the third quarter will end. We'll be back with you here after a short audio break on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And we're back here at Tri-Central for the fourth quarter. I was just informed that it is Coach Todd's birthday and it's Coach Richard's birthday. So we want to say happy birthday to Coach Bob Todd and Coach Ryan Richards. It's kind of interesting they have the same day.
And there's been a lot of January birthdays, I know, at the school. We've been recognizing a lot of teachers and faculty members this week for birthdays as well. So January, a popular month apparently in Wes-Del land.
Yeah.
So you know what? I'm just thinking here, Coach, we're not in a bad position here. We're only down 8. And
yes.
That really it doesn't seem you don't want to ever be on the short end of the stick here, but we're not out of this.
And that skip pass we're trying to make work over to Dowling, but it's kind of mishandled right there. And he gets a nice call there.
There's that 10-foot jumper that when you get it, you got to take advantage of it.
And that's Heineman getting the call. That will be, I'm a little behind. It's 6-5 now. So the next foul on the Warriors will be bonus. That's Hyman's third. And Harlan's at the line here. It's a 2-shot foul. First one's good. 7-point ball game. And you made a great point, Coach, that coming into this quarter only down 8.
All things considered.
And he gets both. Those are 2 big free throws there. Here comes Carlos Artiega in for defense for Mason Cox. And that I figured that. They're going to go pressure. Somebody needs to pick up 20.
Right, that's what I mentioned that earlier about that is offensive defense substitution.
Get a 5-second call right here. See if we can get the ball out of his hands, and there you go, and it's a turnover. And you know what's funny is you mentioned it, and so did Principal Purdue. He said we've got to.
Then there's your,
your offense to defense is what they're doing here. And they said get the ball out of Chapman's hands, and that's what they did, and he turned it over there. Now you've got to capitalize. Value your possession.
Boy, they collapsed on him quick.
Oh, yeah. They know that Dowling and Weitzel are the shooters. Now here's Dowling pulling one, and that's a big one. A big-time three from downtown Dowling, and they cut it to 3.
5 seconds.
Almost a 5-second call. Good defense here by Alex Light. He's got to turn him, try to make him get rid of the ball, but you don't want to foul. And there it is. A nice job.
All right.
And here's Harlan trying to attack. Splits the 2. He's up. Just misses it. Alex Light's there.
Oh.
And now here comes the Tri-Central Trojans. Chapman has it now. Gives it up, and they get a travel. No, they get a timeout.
Yeah, I think from Coach Bowen's standpoint, that's a pretty good timeout right there for Tri-Central. That game got quick.
Yes.
Real fast.
Cut into that. It is a full timeout, so we will take a quick break here on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And we're back here. I just wanted to mention, I did see in the chat, AJ's other grandma, Shirley Thacker, is watching along. And it is Mr. Romine's birthday and Mr. Romine's son's birthday.
Yes, that's right. That's right. I remember having that conversation with Mr. Romine this week. That's right.
So the great Wes-Del News, our TV, he does a great job. He did a great job the other night with the county wrestling.
The county wrestling, the production of that, and it was as professional.
Oh, I watched a good portion of it. He did a great job.
It was unbelievable. And you know what? And I'll talk about this. I've talked about this all year. You just look around here and the opportunities that the whole Wes-Del community has been able to provide for these kids during this pandemic and during these unfortunate circumstances that we've had to deal with. Our kids have had a full spectrum of opportunities, and the families have been able to participate and see their kids participate. So it's been a wonderful effort, and Mr. Romine's been a big part of that.
Yes. Weitzel cuts it to a 1-point ball game, and now Harlan gets
that's not good. Harlan's
and Coach
4.
McLaughlin just told him why. Why get that close? And Eric doesn't want to chat with the official about this because he doesn't want to hear it. And it's 1-1 now. And putting Chapman, a good free throw shooter, at the line with 6:15 to go. But you're exactly right, Coach. A lot of people have stepped up this year and provided the opportunity for our community to still see our Warriors in all sports, in all action.
And a lot of people in the community have stepped up just to make it possible for them to even be able to participate.
Yep. And we're excited to get the kids back in the building this week. We did that 1 week of e-learning, but we're ready to get them back in. That's a big miss there. And they're getting a jump ball, and it's back to Tri-Central. So here we go. We just seem to get right there, and
well, we are. I think we're
right there.
We're in good shape.
We're right there.
A couple more fouls, we get in the bonus. This could come down to free throws.
That was a big free throw miss there by Chapman, though, and I hate to see us lose that and get that tie up. 5 second. Yep, there it is, and we get it back. Great 5-second call, great defense there. And notice we put in Carlos Artiega for defense, and here comes Mason Cox back in for offense. So, the coaching staff doing a great job of using the players here for getting them in the best position to be successful. Carlos helps us get a 5-second count. A lot of people don't see that stat, but that was huge. Weitzel, and they're going to get him for a travel. You know what kills me, and I'm not saying he didn't travel, but what kills me is we'll let the Euro step become part of high school basketball, but we won't let the shot fake dribble. You know,
yeah. I remember, well, I think a couple of years ago, if I'm not mistaken, that was a point of emphasis.
Yeah, it was.
And I don't think officials have ever let that go. Like, I don't know what the point of emphasis is this year, but a couple of years ago, it was that step before that shot fake step and dribble, and they made that a point of emphasis. And
I think that's the 5th foul on Eric Harlan. Eric Harlan has fouled out. And he thought he had a tie up there, and he didn't, and he has fouled out, and that's hurts.
And guess who's at the line?
Now Chapman at the line here, and that means Jesus Cardozo will come in as next guy up, and Jesus has contributed all year long, and he's a senior. He'll help us out right here. But that was a tough foul to be the 5th foul. You hate to see the 5th foul be on a tie-up like that, a loose ball foul, but I'll tell you one thing. These officials don't care what I have to say. And here we go. Chapman hits the first one. Here's the second one is up, and he hits the second one. So it's a 4-point ball game. And
that means Dowling's going to have to take back over the ball handling responsibilities.
Yeah, it's something he had to do last year in the sectional when Eric got hurt, and so he knew it. Now that's a bad turnover right there. It could hurt us. Leininger lays it in, and just like that, it's a 6-point ball game. Here comes Weitzel, and they're going to get Holden Rail, I think, for a foul.
Well, I'm glad that they called that because we collided with ourselves right after the foul was called. So let's
next one's going to be bonus. So, Coach, you're exactly right. It's going to come down to free throws here. Dowling for 3, and that's a big one from outside, but nothing there. So I think we've got Zach Todd has 4, I believe. He's on the bench, and now you have Harlan fouled out. Here's Chapman trying to get inside, and it's taken away by Weitzel. That's a foul. That is a foul.
There's got to be something.
And I cannot believe they didn't call a foul on Chapman.
There's got to be something in there somewhere. There was so much contact, somebody on the floor, but Chapman was on his back.
I mean, I know he was slapping at the ball, but he was getting all arm while he was laying on the ground. And now Tri-Central will try to attack here with a 6-point lead. That knocked away, and that had to be something.
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to say, he's got to call that.
Right. Well, I'm not sure. That's 4.
It's 4 on Chapman, and it should be bonus.
Now we're in the 1-and-1.
So buckle up, Coach, because I think the next 5 minutes is going to be an interesting one. Between the coaches and the chippiness and everything, I think the officials are. So it's no shots because they're calling it a player control foul.
So Zach Todd's going to come back into the game
with 4 fouls.
With 4 fouls.
That's a lot of trust on a senior, or excuse me, that's a junior.
Well,
but Zach's got a head on him. He can. And here we just got it. Listen, we're only down 6, and you'd feel like we're down more than that. Nice move by Zach Todd inside. Just can't get it. And they're going to get.
I think they're going to call that a push-off.
Are they calling that on Pickens?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Pickens.
That should be 1-1, and it is. That's the 8th team foul.
Will be in the bonus.
Pickens gets his 3rd, and Coach Bowen doesn't like that call. So this is going to be an interesting 4:57 because it's a physical ball game.
Well, that's not a player control foul.
That's not a player control foul.
The one underneath the basket wasn't,
Yeah.
I don't think.
It's 1-1. It's got to be 1-1. That's not a player. Oh, I can't help it. I can't help it.
I'm not sure.
They are so lost.
I'm not really sure what's happening.
I know we're on the IHSA, and I don't care. They are lost. And they
Right
called
there.
that off.
Yeah, well, right. Maybe a take right there instead of that pass, but that's still, I don't think that.
We got to play through it, though. I will say that
this is
our kids got to play through the officiating here.
There's this is gonna be an exciting end to this ball game.
And they score there, 51-43, and 4:50. They got a foul now, and we got to hit free throws.
Yeah, they're going to call that on Leininger. Number 22.
It's getting as crazy for us as it is for anybody else.
Right.
Coach Purdue's helped them out over here, making sure they know it's 1-1. It should have been 1-1 the last time.
All right. So that's good. Dowling hits the front end of the 1-1. Cuts the lead to 7. There's 4:38 left to go in the ball game.
Oh, got to have that one. Free throws are going to be big here.
Oh,
he almost traveled right there. They're going to try to get it to Chapman. He's going to try to do as much as he can. They got to just deny him and hope it not goes back to his hands, as I think. Spin move by Leininger. If that goes, it's trouble. We got to get a rebound. Joel Dowling gets it. Outlets to Weitzel. Weitzel wide open, and it's 2 more, and now it's 51-46. We got to keep it up. And they got Alex Light.
I don't know. That's awful chippy there, but I
don't think we've called that one all night. So now we're calling some we haven't called all night, but we'll go with it.
So that'll send number 22 Leininger to the line.
Yeah. And I don't know. We'll see here. Going to be what was a quick game is going to be a long game now. Leininger looks like a good free throw shooter, judging by that one.
Tri-Central's not even going to challenge the rebound here.
Leininger with the second one, and he gets them both. So that's a guy you don't want to foul,
right?
If you're keeping track. A lot of bump. Like that was a foul last time, but we're going to see what happens here. Here's Weitzel putting it on the floor. Gets to the basket and scores. 53-48. We've got to persevere right here. Get the ball out of his hands. Leininger misses, and Joel Dowling has gotten a lot of big rebounds here in this basketball game. We've got to shoot the ball. Got to jump stop and shoot the ball.
There's a couple of times down there where we could have probably should have rather taken the shot, but again,
here we go. Let's try to Alex Light kind of trying to keep the ball from going to Chapman. A good job so far. Really handling things.
Yeah,
now they're going to get Evan Weitzel, and
so that's the double bonus now. One more for them, and both teams are shooting 2 for the rest of the way out.
And the wrong guy to foul. It's Leininger who just buried 2.
Well, there's a reason they threw the ball into him.
Leininger misses that one. And we had someone in the chat say that they understand the commentators are against the Euro step and that the game evolves and the three-point basket people were against also. But there's a difference. There's a difference. I would agree with him, but there's also a difference between a travel and a three-point basket. That's a legit line in the game.
Right.
But I get his opinion, and I understand
the game does evolve.
Oh, I do too. It's fun to watch. I can't argue with him on that. When it works for you, it's fun to watch. Chapman with a big rebound.
We've got to keep.
Whoa.
I think
they called a foul on Evan Weitzel. Evan Weitzel got knocked out. And I don't know about this one. This is going to be trouble.
Well, I got to be honest. I didn't see what was going on.
Well, they both were on the floor, and then I know that there was some shoving going on after that.
Well, I think there was some extracurricular activity after the whole exchange, too.
And I don't know what's going on.
That might have been missed.
And that is 5 fouls on Evan Weitzel. And I tell you what, our coaches are saying he got punched, and I don't think they'd lie about it. And Evan said it too. He said, I got hit. You guys didn't see it when I got up.
Yeah,
I tell you, judging from our fans down here, it wasn't pretty.
That were
something got missed, and the guy that I think threw the punch is shooting free throws. So something got missed there. I'm not saying Evan didn't do something too. He obviously did because he got caught.
Right.
But it was the three-point shot. It was the block out.
The reaction.
Yeah.
Last week we had a double technical foul where both of the kids, neither one of them did anything.
Yep.
So.
And that one's missed. So I said it would get a little chippy here. I think the officials have let it get this way a little bit. Both teams good players. And both programs and schools, great sports. We've been playing them in football for a long time. I think that the officials just have to make sure things stay a little. He's got to take that. Back out to Light. Light for 3. He misses. And the rebound goes to Leininger. And they're trying to get the Fury set up. That's to Chapman. And now I think that they may hold here.
Yeah, I think they're going to try to control the ball here if they can. Skip pass over to Chapman.
Back to Chapman. That's a big one, and it goes. A huge three-pointer there by Chapman. Great player. He's fun to watch.
That was a pretty shot.
Nice job by Joel Dowling to come right back.
Right.
And a timeout here by Coach McLaughlin, and it will be a 30-second timeout, so we'll stay here. So, again, you're still down 8.
Right. After all of that, we're still within striking distance here. Still plenty of time left to go in the ball game. 2 minutes, 32 seconds. We're only down by 8. And you know the way that Wes-Del plays, the game, the momentum of this game can change very, very quickly.
Absolutely, very quickly.
We'll see who steps up for the Warriors as well. We've got a couple of our players on the bench that fouled out. And, again, we've spoken to this before in the game. We've got to look at the contributions that our role players are able to make. And that's why they call it a team sport. And we'll see who comes out, shows some leadership for us. But I wouldn't count the Warriors out of this just yet.
Yeah. And we're coming out of this timeout, and we'll be putting the pressure on. 58-50.
Speaking of pressure, I don't know if I've ever experienced any of this kind of professional pressure on myself. I'm sitting between the athletic director, the principal, and the superintendent.
Yeah, well, the least.
And emotions are high.
Emotions are high, and I have to keep mine in check because I have a microphone on, which could be hard. And they're going to get Zach Todd, which might be his 5th. That is his 5th. So that is the 3rd player for Wes-Del to foul out tonight. Eric Harlan
I don't remember, and of course I haven't watched as much basketball as you have over the years, but I can't remember the last time I saw 3 players foul out
I've never
in
seen
regulation.
Never seen it.
In a high school basketball game. But nevertheless, it's happened here tonight for the Warriors, so
yep. Harlan, Weitzel, and Zach Todd in there. Mason Pickens misses the first one. I will say this. Our emotions are high. Our athletic director and principal are not very happy with that no call that ended up being the 5th foul for Evan Weitzel, and I'm right there with him. So we got to go attack the basket here. It's only 2 minutes to go. We got to attack. And that's not what we want there. And now he's going to get Carlos Artiega with a foul. And basically any time, I think at this point, we get near him, they're going to call a foul.
Fouls on number 20, Carlos Artiega.
So Carlos Artiega gets called for a foul. Not a shock. They're going to put Chapman at the line. Good free throw shooter. This is the first one. Down 9. 2:02 to go on the game clock, so I need to change mine.
So right now we are with Dowling, Artiega, Light, Cardoza, and Cox.
And it's a 10-point ball game. We got to go and score. Got to get something attacking the basket here. We got to quit kind of passing around out there. We got to go. Got to go. You know what's funny is they're putting a lot of the same bumps on us, and we're not getting that. It's not the reason we're down, but it'd be nice if we get one of those. Jesus almost in there, and it's tipped around and rebounded out to Light. Light over to Dowling. Dowling comes off of it, and he's got a shot up. He misses, and now it's into the hands of Tri-Central.
You can't leave him open.
No, you don't want Chapman to get that. And there's Leininger for 3, and he misses it. And Jesus trying to get that rebound. And I don't know who they're going to get here, but it's definitely us.
Fouls on number 34, Jesus Cardoza.
So Cardoza picks up his first foul.
That's Jesus' first foul in the whole game. Everybody else has been called for a plethora.
Yeah.
We'll use that word, a plethora of fouls, and Jesus just now got his first.
I'm pretty sure that a lot of people won't get the plethora reference.
No. And he missed both of those. That's 3 amigos, I believe.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, it is. I was hoping I was right. Get in there. There's Dowling for 2. Now you got to call a timeout, and they do. 1:05 to go, and they call it. The coach calls a timeout. He keeps a couple of those, so let's see what they called.
That 8-point threshold again. Boy, we just can't get over that here in this.
No. With everything that has happened, we're still down 8.
Yes. I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, we have had to persevere a lot. As you said, 3 of our starters are fouled out, and Harlan fouled out really early. Then it was Weitzel, and then it was Zach Todd, all of which probably didn't get to play but half the game due to fouls. And here we are with some guys who've stepped up. Jesus Cardoza, Alex Light, Carlos Artiega, Mason.
They're keeping us in the ball game.
Carson Ashley. Those guys have really stepped up. And then, of course, Joel Dowling's been in there. I don't think he's been subbed out because everybody else has been in foul trouble. So I think he's had to play the whole game. So here we go, trying to – looks like they're going to try to stack things up. Probably go for the try to catch us going deep. Yeah. Chapman trying to go over the top, and here it is in Leininger. Alex Light playing straight up.
I can't believe.
They got to let it go because they didn't let – and there we go. Mason's got it. Mason going inside. Now he pulls it back out. That goes. It's big. And it doesn't. Joel Dowling can't get that one to fall. And now Chapman trying to get it, and they're going to get a foul. They're going to get that on Joel Dowling, and that will be the 73rd foul on the Warriors.
Yeah, I'd be interested to get the book here after the game.
Well, I know that Coach Knuckles has 3, Coach Dowling has 2, Coach Todd has 3, and they haven't even been in the game. Chapman hits that one. And here comes Carlos Artiega is being replaced by Carson Ashley. 47 seconds left, and this will push it to 10. We're going to have to start, and that's a substitution for a shooter right there because we're going to have to start shooting. And he's a free throw shooter. So 62-52. And we got to try to look for a 3 here. We get Carson. Dowling's just got to, they either got to go to the basket or you got to get a shot.
I have to shoot the ball, boys.
Carson's got to let that one go. He does, and he gets it, and it'll be a timeout. So a big 3 there by Carson Ashley, cutting it to 7 with 31 seconds to go. So, again, here's a kid who comes off the bench cold and is able to step up as a senior and hit a big shot. So it's a 7-point ball game, and it's a full timeout. So we're going to take a short audio break here and be right back with you on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And we're back here with 31 seconds to go, and a big 3 from Carson Ashley gives Tri-Central a 7-point lead with 31 seconds, and we'll be pressing. Anything can happen here.
Well, we've got to deny. I think you've got to deny Leininger, and you got to try to deny Chapman here.
And they get it in. That's a guy to foul.
That was the guy that we wanted with the ball. Well, of course.
And they get it down to Leininger, and he scores.
That might be it.
Yeah, that was a tough one right there. We got to go, and we haven't been going in a hurry here. We don't have time to mess around.
You got to shoot it, Joel.
Yeah, get it up there, Carson. He gets another one, and with 11 seconds left, those are 2 big 3s.
Now it's 6.
6, and it's 11 seconds left, and we are out of timeouts, I believe. I think that's it. And that's a full timeout, so we'll stay with you here as we go through this full timeout. 11.5 exactly on the clock. It's a 6-point ball game. 2 huge 3s by Carson Ashley to keep us in the game here.
So do you foul on the inbound? Do you foul away from the ball on the inbound? Do you have to wait till they inbound it?
I'll tell you, and I can do this because, if the IHSA writes me a letter, fine. But with this crew, I don't know. Will they see a foul away from the ball? Because, yes, I would say this. If I'm an official and you can get one of the guys that's proven to be a little struggle at the line, be it Pickens or be it Heineman, you just grab their jersey away from the ball and see if you get a call and no time off the clock.
Exactly.
Then you hope he misses one right off the bat or misses both or at least only makes one. You get the rebound, you push it up, doing the same thing, and you just have to keep doing that. Now, these officials, I would say, I don't know if they'll catch that type of foul. And if they do, would they call it an intentional?
They're going to run the stack, just deny him out of that.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to hurt anybody here. You just want to grab the jersey. You just want to grab the jersey and make them call a foul.
Or let them know that you're going to foul.
Yeah.
And, of course.
That's not the guy that you – and he's out of bounds. He was out of bounds, clearly out of bounds. And he was clearly out of bounds, and they didn't see it. And I think it might have been on the camera right here in front of us that he was clearly stepped out of bounds.
Well,
and now Leininger will have to, and the wrong guy to have at the line.
Well, we got this foul.
But I think the black line is out of bounds. I think. I'm not sure. Tonight it's not. And he gets that one. That's a big free throw there.
Well,
Buckner comes in for Arteaga. He's a shooter.
Despite all of the other things that have gone on in this game, you have to give Tri-Central some credit.
Oh, yeah, they've done a nice job.
They've done a nice job.
A nice job. He hits 2. And we can't quite get a hold on this one, so Jesus will try to put that one up. And that's how it'll end, folks. 66-58, Tri-Central wins here at Tri-Central. A great game out of Chapman. He was a great player to watch, and hate to see it end like that, but we fall to 5-6, and we'll have some of the Star Financial postgame here shortly. If you want to hang around with us, we may have coach or we may have an assistant coach with us tonight, or we may just have ourselves. I don't know, but we'll be back here shortly on the Wes-Del Sports Network. And we're back here for the postgame, and tonight they're kind of ushering us out pretty quick, so we will not have Coach or anybody from the team tonight, folks. So we're trying to get the book and get some stats, and Coach Slopsom is working on that for us, and then we'll go through those stats, and then we'll head out, and it'll be a short night for everyone, but I understand they want to get everybody moved up and moved out of here, so the team wants to get on the bus and go home, and I don't blame them. So it was, but I will say this. After everything that happened, you step back and look at it, and even if you watch it over again, you know, we overcame a lot of things in that game, and still to be within 6 at one point when Carson hit that 3, the second of those. I want to give a lot of credit to our whole team, all of our guys had to step in at different times and pick up when we got in foul trouble, and guys, and that just says a lot about this team. And really, when you look at going into the tournament, that's what you want to see if you're a coach is, hey, I've got guys that can step up. I've got guys that can come in and make some big plays. And that really happened tonight, Coach.
Right, and that's what I said earlier. Despite the records, despite the number of games that each team has played, and we alluded to this earlier, we're still in the front half of our season, and we're playing to try to get better each game. And I think under the circumstances and under everything that we've all been through, you have to keep some things into perspective. The first thing is we're fortunate enough and we don't ever want to lose a game. Losing's tough for everybody. But at the same time, we are very, very fortunate to even be able to play basketball.
Yeah.
Our team's been able to play 11 basketball games now. There's a lot of teams, for example, next Friday, Daleville has to miss out on the county tournament because of quarantine.
Yeah.
So
we move right into the Friday night game against Wapahani.
So look at it this way, that our kids have an opportunity to be involved in something, to get to play, to compete, and to do what they enjoy to do.
And speaking of that, since we have the opportunity, I don't know if they'll hear it, but we wish all of Daleville and the basketball team, that they're dealing with this, and all the teams have to deal with this, but specifically Daleville, we wish them a speedy recovery, and we are so upset that we don't get to go out there and play that game. Yeah. I mean, it's not one that believe me, Wes-Del and Daleville, they have a great rivalry, but a great appreciation for both communities, and we hate the fact that COVID and the circumstances of quarantine cause us not to be able to play, because that'd be it's always a heck of a game against Daleville.
Right.
And but because of that, unfortunately, we wish them the best and that they get back out on the court, which they will. And hopefully whoever is dealing with it is getting through a speedy recovery and doesn't have anything too severe. But we've been through it too. Our JV team, I know the 8th grade middle school teams have been quarantined. Wrestlers have been quarantined like 6 or 7 times.
Right.
It feels like it's been about 3 really. But just to say, we wish we could play that one. But to Daleville, we hope you get feeling better and get back out there to play some more games. And Coach, you have the book now. So why don't you run us through some of the points, and then we'll close things up.
Right, and first we'll start with Tri-Central, and no surprise, their leading scorer, Jake Chapman, came into the game averaging almost 25 points a game tonight. He scores a game-high 33 points for Tri-Central, and we knew coming in we had to keep him at his average or below, and that obviously didn't happen tonight. So the game's leading scorer, Jake Chapman, number 32 for Tri-Central.
Great game for that kid.
Yeah, he did. He played a very good game.
Yep.
And Wes-Del put a lot of pressure on him tonight. He responded very well. He was 13 of 16 from the line, 2 3-pointers tonight. So behind him was the Leininger kid who hit some pretty key free throws for Tri-Central there in the fourth quarter with 16. And then there were several kids, Rail with 4, Pickens 5, Heinman 6, and then Garrett Graves gave him a couple points off the bench tonight for the Trojans. For the Wes-Del Warriors, again, like we always have, we try to spread it around. Our leading scorer tonight was Joel Dowling. Joel Dowling had 22 for the Warriors, and Joel had a hard game tonight. Like you said, he was put into a situation where he had to do a lot of things for the Warriors tonight, not just handle the ball, but he also did an excellent job rebounding. He was 4 of 6 from the stripe tonight, had 4 3-pointers, a really good game for Joel, and then right behind him was Evan Weitzel with 14. And then to round out the Wes-Del scoring, we had Harlan with 6, Todd with 2, Jesus Cardoza had 2, Mason Cox 2, and then Carson Ashley with those 2 3-pointers there late in the fourth quarter chipped in 6 points for us. And then Alex Light. Obviously, Alex brings an interesting dimension. And speaking of COVID, he was one of those that had to miss a good portion of the season because he was on quarantine for no fault of his own.
Yep.
He had 4 points for us in the first half. So, as far as stats are concerned, again, exactly like we predicted. Pretty lopsided there for Tri-Central in terms of scoring is concerned, but for Wes-Del, balanced game. And as far as I'm not sure what before we got the book, but Coach Slopsma had his calculator out, and I'm not sure whether he was calculating the number of points that were scored or the number of fouls that were committed by both teams in this game.
Yeah, there was a lot.
Right, but
at least there were a lot called.
Right. So, of course, Wes-Del had 3 players foul out, and Tri-Central was able to keep themselves out of foul trouble. And, in fact, that might have been the difference of the game.
Yeah.
So that rounds out your post-game statistics for tonight's game.
And that is the post-game for the Star Financial post-game. I want to say I appreciate you stepping in. You did a fantastic job. Anytime I can get you to step in, it'd be great. In fact, one of these days we ought to try a 3-man crew. We ought to go with Coach Hansen, you, me, and just see what happens with the 3 of us involved. I think that would be kind of fun.
I enjoy doing this, and I really do enjoy it, and I think I probably enjoy it more because it gives me an opportunity, especially when we're with the limited attendance and so forth.
Yeah, we get to watch the games.
To be able to be here with our Warriors. Always enjoy working, and it's been my pleasure tonight.
Well, the Warriors are back in action, as you said, on Friday evening in the second round of the county tournament, and they will be playing Wapahani, and we will be bringing that to you. I do know the county girls basketball game on Tuesday night versus Yorktown. That's a home game, and that will be brought to you by Mr. Romine and the Wes-Del News channel, so it will be on YouTube, and it will be, I believe it is Mr. Hansen and maybe Mr. McLaughlin or maybe you. I'm not sure.
I think we're still trying to work that out. There's been some discussion. We're not sure. That's TBA.
Okay. So, folks, you've got 2 big ones this week. You've got the county tournament for the girls on Tuesday night and the county tournament for the boys on Friday night to catch on both the Wes-Del News Network and the Wes-Del Sports Network. So, on behalf of Coach Sims, I am the Soup. We'll see you next time on the Wes-Del Sports Network.